Hey guys, Carlos here from Angler's Lifestyle. It's been a while since I've done a video, and there's a reason for that. I'm sheltered in place. Anyway, if you guys are probably itching to go fishing, I am too. But I wanted to make sure that everybody stays safe out there and stays healthy, so I'm doing my part with respect to shelter in place and social distancing. A lot of people have asked me about ultralights and the type of gear that I've been using when I go fishing. One of the most favorite rod that I love to use is my Walmart R2F rod, and that's a 6-foot rod. It's a medium light power rod, and I've repurposed it by removing the actual reel, and I placed my own Okuma Stratus V. Anyway, I've been looking for a similar rod like that, and thus far I haven't found any. Anyway, I was so lucky that a friend of mine, Manny, said that, hey, I've got some older gear that I'd like for you to have because I don't fish anymore. He had purchased some gear for him and his daughter, and he said that, I mean, she's all grown up and he doesn't even go fishing anymore. So he said, I can have it. So look at what he gave me. It's a bit of a vintage. It's a Shimano spinning. It's a FX2602, and I'm sure you OGs out there know the value of this rod and reel combo. I think it's a medium power rod. The action on the tip is a bit stiff, okay, but it's a 6-foot rod. Height-wise, it's perfect for the things that I actually do, but I wish it was a medium light rod. There are inserts, ceramic inserts, but one of the inserts, I'm not quite sure why this is such. I think the inserts had fallen out. So I don't know if we can fix that, but again, that's not the issue. The interesting part about it is the reel that it came with. Again, it's a vintage type of reel where the drag is in the back. And I'm sure you guys out there who are very familiar with this type of reel, it's an Shimano Aero 2000. Okay, I wonder why the industry hasn't done this to their reels, but this is a really cool feature. And I'm sure you guys are probably going to be laughing at me because this is the first time I've ever seen something like this. Check this out. You press this button and the spool comes off. That's right. So you can easily change, your spool by just... It's as simple as that. You can have a few of these spools, assuming that, they sold these separately. But I'm sure we can try and look for it at eBay and everything. But for the most part, this is brilliant. You press this button and it comes right off. That is possible because there's no front drag. The drag is back here. And the drag has multiple adjustments. You've got what they call the fighting drag lever. Okay, that adjusts the tightness based on when you have the fish on line. And then of course there's this dial that has the numerical adjustment as well, and it even has a label that says more. Okay, and look at the labeling in that. The labeling is so fine and brilliant that this is a really old reel, and you still can see the labeling. With today's manufacturing, all the labelings that are like these would come out, the first year of use. But, this, Shimano, what is it, a 2000R? 3 ball bearings. Not bad. And it's ultra smooth. So come trout season again in the fall, I'm definitely going to use this reel and possibly this rod, assuming that I can, fix this insert, if that be the case. But again, the quest continues. That I continue to look for a medium light 6-foot rod. Anyway, I've been going through my archives looking for videos that I haven't posted yet, and lo and behold, I did find something. When I first started fishing, I strictly fished for food, okay? And I wouldn't think that I ever get to a point when I actually do catch and release, at least for trout. Bass, definitely release that. But catch and release for trout, just fishing for fun, right? Not for food. But, I've got a, family of 4 and I have to feed mouths that are hungry, right? So, I catch my limit. My wife catches her limits. And again, we abide by the rules. There's a reason for that. And these trouts that are planted in our lakes are meant to be caught, okay, brought home and consumed. Okay, if you're not the type of person who would catch fish and not consume fish, and similarly, I know guys that go fishing just for the love of fishing, but they don't even eat fish. So, some of them just end up giving it away or just, again, releasing it. I never thought that it would happen to me, okay, after 3 or 4 years of fishing. I didn't think that, it was going to come rather quick. Okay, 3-4 years, I guess that's fairly long. But I actually went fishing one time, and guess what? I actually did catch and release. So I was using my Berkeley trout dough. It's a fiberglass rod. It's an ultralight rod. And I've actually done a video, and I'll go ahead and post the link over here. But this ultralight rod is actually great for this type of a function, and I was jigging that day. I was using these atomic mini-jigs from Berkeley as well. And when you are doing a catch and release type of fishing, okay, make sure that you're using lures maybe that are barbless or mini jigs that you can actually release with, but definitely don't use the trout doughs, the power baits that the fish would swallow, power eggs and things like that, mice tails, things that the fish would swallow, and then of course it'll be harder to release. And then similarly, don't use the small treble hooks, because that'll end up gut hooking the fish. So anyway, without further ado, let me show you some of these videos that I've captured of me doing catch and release. Stay tuned. Hey Janet, can you bring me a forceps so I can release this? Thank you. No, yeah I do, but I'm just gonna release this guy. Yeah, but shorten it. They're feeding from the bottom. no, did he swallow it? No, no. Yeah, let's release this guy. So catch and release is actually quite fun. If there's a lot of fish, it's definitely the way to go. But people have asked me, how exactly do I use those mini jigs? Again, you direct tie them. I have a 3-pound ultra green monofilament on my ultralight rig, and essentially you just cast it, you just let it sit for a bit, you jig it, okay, you retrieve it, okay, and then again you let it sit and you jig it again, you retrieve it and you let it sit. So those are the 3 things that you can do. And again, when they're in the shallows, you know, they're actually hunting the bottom. These breed that are coming from Dara, okay, I was fishing at Sandy Wool, they essentially love to forage the shallows, okay, and they're essentially picking up food from the bottom of the lake there. And again, you know, the water line wasn't very much, but the key is to be able to cast it out as far as you can. Okay, let it sit so the fish can actually see it. The type of color that I was using is the grasshopper. Okay, that seemed to work very well for me. For some reason, they just love that. So again, you cast it, you let it sit, you retrieve it, okay, and repeat. Start over again. Let me show you some more. Hey Chuck, that was my catch and release number 4. Yeah, I'm going for my my 5th. You know, what they call it, the devil's fish. Unbelievable. I got one actually. Looks like a good one too. Trying to see if this is a big fish. So there you go. I actually did catch and release, and I wasn't very good at it, but at least, I got the fish off the hook. But the trick to releasing fish is make sure you keep them in the water, and so that the slime don't come off their scales. Similarly, so their gills don't choke. So keep them in the water as long as you can. I just heard an airplane, okay, fly through, but again, that's the first. It's been a while since I've heard any type of airplane fly over our home. Normally, it's like every hour on the hour, there's a lot of airplanes flying over. But, that's pretty much an indication that, maybe, the economy is trying to start, or maybe, that's a FedEx or an Amazon Prime airplane. Anyway, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but this is the first time that the sky and the horizon and everything else seems so clear. Again, it's everything that's first, all that's first, that's happening first, that we stay at home for long periods of time. For me, first, that I go shopping for food every 2 weeks. I used to shop for food every day, but now I go every 2 weeks. And then, of course, I've been growing my own vegetables as well, so that those tender type of vegetables that I rely from at the store, I don't have to buy. But again, it's all a waiting period. All of us are staying at home. All of us are hopefully doing our part. Anyway, so lots of firsts going on, and I hope that you guys are also staying healthy and doing quite a few of your firsts. So, as always, come fish with us sometime. See ya.